So hi everyone, in this video I'm going to explain about one more new concept, that is multi-threading. Okay, before going toward multi-threading, first you have to understand what is multitasking. Okay, multitasking. So what is multitasking? Executing multiple tasks simultaneously. We will call that one as what multitasking. So suppose if you consider a student as an example, see, while he is writing what record, he is also listening to what music, and he is also chatting with his friends. Okay, so now all this task, so this is a different task, all our different tasks is doing simultaneously. That one is called as what multitasking. Okay, so in the multitasking we have two types. One is process based multitasking, another one is what thread based multitasking. So what is that process based multitasking? So executing several tasks simultaneously where each task is separate program. Okay, we'll call that one as what process based multitasking. So executing several tasks simultaneously where each task is a separate program, we'll call that one as what process based multitasking. So this we'll take what one more new example. So assume you are typing a program, you're sitting in front of a system and you are typing a program, and at the same time you are listening to some music, at the same time you are downloading some file. Okay, now if you observe all the three tasks, whatever you are doing within what your system, all three are what independent, or all three are what different programs. There is no relation to typing a program to listening to audio or downloading a file. Okay, such a type of what multitasking is called as what process based multitasking. Okay, so you will do process based multitasking at OS level. Okay, yeah, and second one is thread based multitasking. So what is thread based multitasking? Executing several tasks simultaneously where each task is a separate individual part of same program. Okay, so executing several tasks simultaneously where each task is a separate independent or individual part of same program. So we'll call that one as what thread based multitasking. So for example purpose, so assume I have it on 2k lines of code. Okay, so total execution of time for executing this particular program is, assume it's about 30 minutes, just an example. Okay, now I can divide this particular 2k lines of code into small pieces, small independent pieces. Okay, and I can execute what each individual part simultaneously. If I do so, now total execution time is reduced from 30 minutes to what 5 minutes. Such a type of what execution, we'll call that one as what thread based multitasking. So assume here this is a single program, and I divide that one into a small individual part, and I'm executing one simultaneously. Okay, so such a type of what execution, we'll call that one as what thread based multitasking. If you execute same program with the different threads, is an example of what thread based multitasking, or even we'll call that one as what uh, multi-threading. Okay, yeah. So next we will see what is the definition of what threads. Just copy this one out as it is. So now we'll see the definition of what thread. So flow of execution, we'll call that one as what thread. So assume I have done one program. Okay, so for any program we're going to have what one flow of execution. That flow of execution we'll call as what thread. So if there is one flow of execution, means there will be what one thread. So assume I'm going to divide this one into what two parts, two independent parts. Okay, now as I have two flow of execution. If I have two flow of execution, means I'm going to have how many threads? Two threads. So we can define the thread as what separate flow of execution or just a flow of execution. Okay, now so now we have to create what threads. So next topic is how to create our own threads, or how to create some new threads. Okay, so we have creating thread, or how to make class threadable. Okay, way of creating a thread, or how to make class threadable. So if you want to create your own threads or a new threads, there are about two options. By extending from thread class. So already there is a one class inbuilt class with name of thread. By inheriting from that one, we can create what our own threads. Second, by implementing runnable interface. So there is a interface with name of runnable. Using that one, we can create what threads. So these are the two methods using which we can create what new threads. So first we will go with the extending a thread class. So first method is by extending a thread class. Okay, so we are inheriting from what one class with name of thread. So there is a built-in class with name of thread. By inheriting from that one, we can create what new threads. Okay, so within that class thread, there is a method with name of start. Within that start, already developer has written so many lines of code to create what new threads. So we are not writing what any code to creating what new threads. We are just inheriting this class and we are running this particular method, and we are creating what new threads. At the end, they are calling what on function with name what run. Within a start, there is a one more function calling. That function calling is what run, and within that run, whatever code you will write, that will be executed by whatever the new thread you are creating. So whatever the new thread you are creating, that will going to execute, that will going to do what on task, and that should be, you must write within what run method. So you have to override what run method. Okay, yeah. See, now I'm creating what on thread on class with name what my thread. Okay, and that is inheriting from what thread, this built-in class, by using what keyword what extends. So now I have to override this particular method, because only if I write within this particular method, your child thread will going to execute, or whatever the work your child thread must do, that should be there within what run method. Okay, yeah. So I'm overriding this particular run, same name, same parameter, that one is called as what function overriding. So within which I'm just taking what on for loop, and then just I'm printing a child thread how many times, 5 times, because this for loop will going to execute 5 times. This is the end of what your for loop, and this is the end of what your run, and this is the end of what your my thread. Okay, yeah. Now I'm going to take one more class to define what main. Okay, so before going to what main class, so whatever I written within this bracket, we'll call that one as what defining a thread, and whatever I written within what run, that's a work of a child thread. So if you write anything within this run method, that is a work done by what your child thread here. So just for loop is the executing a for loop is the work child thread will going to execute, work of a child thread. Okay, yeah. So now continuation of same program, I'll take one more class with name of thread demo, within which I'm going to take a public static void main. Okay, so now I'm going to create object of type main my thread. How to create object? Class name, object name, new my thread. So now object got created. This one is called as what? Thread instantiation. Okay, thread instantiation. Okay, yeah, creating an object of my thread, we'll call that one as what? Thread instantiation. Now what I will do is I'll call t.start. So now what will happen once you call over t.start? So t is of type what? My thread. So it will go to check within what my thread. Is there any function with name or start? No. So now what it will do is it will go to check within what thread class. Okay, within a thread class, built-in thread class, there is a function with name or thread. This will be got executed. So here the already developer has written so many lines of code, okay, to create a new thread. Okay, now thread got created. At the end, there's a run method that will be executed. But here they are not written what any definition. What it will do, it will go to what child class. There they are written what definition. This will be got executed. Okay, yeah. So these are the tasks that will be done once you call what start. So starting, this one is also called starting of a thread. So new thread will be what created, and it will call what run method. Okay, so at the same time, already I told there will be what on default thread, and that will going to execute your program. So we will going to create this child thread, the main thread, or a default thread. Okay, so and here I have written what for loop and what main thread, and this part will be executed by what, again your main thread. Okay, so now this end of what your main, and this end of what your class, your program terminates. Now I created there's a default thread, main thread, and we have created what child thread, and child thread will go to execute what this part, the message child thread what 5 times, and so what I have written within what main, so the main thread, this is also going to execute what 5 times, and we will going to execute this one main thread. So both are running what simultaneously. Since both are running what simultaneously, you can't expect what particular output. You'll get what different output if you run what program a number of what times, or each time if you run, you'll get what different output. So here I have written 2 possible output. So you may get a child thread what 2 times, and that total depends on what thread scheduler. If a thread scheduler gives a chance to what main thread, so you'll get this output in the beginning. If a thread scheduler gives a chance to what child thread, you'll get what this message in the beginning. Okay, So therefore, you can't expect what particular output. You can get what n number of what outputs. So I have written what only two, only two, yeah, two possible options. Either you'll get a child thread 2 times, 3 times, main thread what 5 times, and 2 times what child thread, or child thread main thread, child thread main thread, child thread main thread, or you may get what any other combination of what child and main thread, or five times child thread, five times main thread, or 5 times main thread then followed by 5 times child thread. Okay, you can't expect what output. So you have to use what multi-threading only. Execution is what important, not order of what output. In such cases, you can go for what multi-threading concept. Okay, just copy this particular program what as it is. Okay, so by extending a thread class, first you copy this one. The right hand side, just write on this one. There's an inbuilt class with name thread. There's a function start. There already developer has written a code for to create a new thread, and at the end we are calling what run. Okay, yeah, just copy this particular program. First you write on this one. The right hand side, draw out on line and copy this one. So next you write about this one, one more class for defining a main, and finally write on the output. So actually there is no particular order of what output. I written what two possible options. Okay, thank you.